She is an amazing, amazing lady. If you haven't watched the episode we did with Joy Wendo, we laughed. We laughed. This lady is a bundle of joy. Thank you. She's called Joy. She's a bundle of, Thank you so
Joy.
much, Wendo, for coming for the second time.
Thank you for inviting me again.
And you won an award
Yeah, I won an
last
award.
year. The best
The one that my
African,
dad used to say.
yeah, the Nobel Prize,
Right.
the best African musician in Germany.
Yes.
But in Germany, now you're telling us you're really fighting for a child you
For a
gave
child.
birth to.
You've taken care of
and-
all
and
this time.
In fact, his intention was that I give the child and I should go back to Kenya.
Oh,
And leave
Yeah.
your child.
Yes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Far From Home Diaspora Conversations. This is your host, Wamboi, and we are very delighted to see you again. But before we continue, we want to say thank you to TEDx Media for sponsoring this episode. And we're going to be giving you more information about TEDx Media in the course of our conversation. Again, we want to thank you for your comments, for your encouragements. If you haven't listened to our episodes, go to Far From Home Diaspora Conversations. As we told you last time, the word diaspora is important. Listen, like, subscribe. These things do matter. They are really helpful. So do go ahead and subscribe and like us and listen to our conversations and comment. Thank you so much.
yeah. And the more, I'm your other host, Carol. And what I wanted to say is, subscribing, when you look at it, does not cost you anything, but it's helping a lot. It's helping us to grow. It's helping who we are getting as a sponsor, because they are looking at the numbers. And we want to do a good job for you guys. And that is how we get to improve on whatever we are doing. And so today in this podcast, this episode, we want to, first of all, like Wamboi said, thank you for all the comments, all the love that you showed us after we brought this guest the first time. She is an amazing, amazing lady. If you haven't watched the episode we did with Joy Wendo, we laughed. We laughed. This lady is a bundle of joy. Thank you. She's called Joy. She's a bundle of, Thank you so
Joy.
much, Wendo, for coming for the second time.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Yeah, you are an amazing lady. And the episode is called
Are you going to say
Wendo.
it?
Yes, of course.
You're going to
Wendo on getting orgasms from the sun. She told us that story. It's just amazing. If you haven't watched, just go back. Pause this one, go back, watch that one, and then come, because she's continuing her story. It was so captivating. We did almost 1.5 hours and would have continued for 3. It was so amazing, and your story touched me and Wamboi too,
Me too, yeah.
on such a level. And we thought we knew Wendo.
Yeah.
We thought we knew her. We do know you, but
Yes.
that story was really deep, and we had to have more of it, because I felt like we did not even touch the tip of the iceberg. We were just beginning to warm up.
I
with
think
the
we need a
story.
whole day to tell the whole story. It's because whenever we are together, we are doing stuff, we are doing music.
Yeah.
When I meet one boy,
Yeah.
or we are performing at your event. So we've never had enough time to speak about ourselves to that level.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true.
And this is exactly what we are creating, a space to speak, because this just having this moment to speak, a whole moment to speak about yourself, this is something that we rarely have this in the diaspora. This is something you have at home a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
You sit
This
outside
just
with
sitting,
friends, with the community, you sit down and talk. This is not something we have so much in the diaspora, people sitting down and just talking.
Yes.
Yeah, our life is too hectic. There's
Yeah.
always, it's tacted. Your day is tacted. So I'm seeing one boy, we are going to sing, I'm picking her up. You have a few moments, but your brain is working at such a high rate,
Yeah,
processing
speed,
information,
you know.
that you don't have these moments of just sitting like now relaxing and just having
And
a
taking a glass
conversation.
of water.
Yes, or a glass of wine or a glass of champagne. Look how lovely she's looking. I think we should have offered champagne today because this is lovely. This
Can
is
I
lovely.
just say I'm honored even that you really chose this dress to wear to this event, because it
Yeah.
is an event.
Oh my
It
God,
is,
thank
And you
you.
look awesome.
It's a
It's
big
lovely.
event.
It's
It is.
lovely.
It's very big. And I'm also honored to be here. Thank you for the invite again.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. So, Amboy, just recap what, please, for us, what Wendo shared with us last time for somebody maybe who is now watching. It was a lot. And, the story about
Yeah.
the child and
Just in a nutshell, and please do Wendo's story justice and go and listen to it. But just in a nutshell, Wendo told us last time about how she used to do music in Kenya, how she got pregnant, and the shame that brought with it, and bringing this baby to this world, and at first having so much support from her family, from her mom. There was always someone who's giving her food, tea, and then she comes to Germany, and she's alone for the first time. And she told us how she felt alone and how she felt like she did not know how to even deal with this child. And what really captivated me, and I really thought about this for a long time, is how you said that you and your child were not speaking. And the moment when spring came, this is where we come back to this orgasm from the sun. And the moment
Yes.
your baby speaks to you and you speak, for me, this, I don't know, I don't know why this has so much meaning for me, but somehow it did
for
carry
me
a lot of
too.
meaning
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you too as
yeah.
well,
It
you know.
touched me
Yeah.
in such a deep
Yeah,
way
yeah.
because it is your baby who opened you up.
Yeah,
Your baby speaking to you for the first time made you
Yeah.
start speaking.
Yeah.
And we are talking about months of
Months.
not
Yes.
speaking to
Yeah.
each other.
this is not natural, because normally
not.
as a mom, even me, I'm not a mother, but whenever I take a child in my hands, the first thing I start doing is doing silly things to the child. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
It's called motherese.
Yes.
It happens automatically.
Yeah.
You have a baby, you start speaking to the baby, and the baby starts speaking to you. So
Yeah.
when this is cut off, this is such an important chunk of motherhood that was taken away from you, I
Yeah,
would say.
totally.
But then at the end of our conversation, I mean, we had gone really, it had gotten really heavy. And then in the end, you told us how you found music, how you were worshiping in the choir, how you started finding healing in the nature. And in this episode now, we want to know what happened once you found yourself again, once you started seeing, okay, it's possible to live here. And also coming back to our name, Far From Home, how you started making a home for yourself. So this is where we would like to pick up the conversation again and know.
After getting all those orgasms from the sun,
Yes.
what happened?
After getting the orgasm from the sun,
Yes.
I went into the gospel choir and I started from there. So I found a chance to go and rehearse with the group, the St. Paul's Inspiration. And that's where now my joy started coming up. I immediately became one of the soloists, you solo, and the rest will be singing.
Is it just to interrupt you a bit, is it a German church or was it a German church or
The German church,
because
evangelic.
normally the churches, I know the Germans one is just new
Yes.
city
Yeah.
and just slowly everything. Was it that kind of a
It
church?
was that kind of a church,
Ah,
but
okay.
we tried to sing, this gospel, American gospel.
Ah,
So
okay,
American
okay.
gospel is different, and we brought it to the church. So it was, and
You brought life into that
we
church.
brought life to the church. Yeah.
Yes.
So we would perform at churches, at the city festival in Borken, and it was amazing. So that's one thing that I can say brought me up. I started singing. So I can actually say music is life. It brought back life to me. And so because I was singing, I thought, why don't I start a group? Yeah. So because I started going out, anytime I got a chance, me there with my baby, kinderwagen, the pram, we go to the city festival, watch a band, and that's how I started meeting with other musicians.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So the area around Boken, Stadtlohn, which boreholes, I met musicians from there, and that's where Harambe was born.
Ah, okay.
Yes, that's how Harambe was born. Even in my lowest moment, I said, okay, let me go ahead and speak. I love talking to people. I just love making friends and bringing, people together.
Yeah, yeah.
So I met musicians, in city festivals. I met another friend who was called Gunta. He still lives in Zudlon. Then he was like, I know other musicians that I can link you up with.
Oh.
Yeah, and we start something, and that's how we began. We started rehearsing at his home in Stadtlohn, and so that's how Harambe was born. And
Can
then
I just say at this moment, Harambe is the band that Wendo and I currently sing in, and you can find this band on Instagram, on Facebook. It's called, just as you say it, Harambe. And this is many years later. It's still surviving.
it's still surviving.
amazed.
Actually, the founding members of Harambe are no longer there because along the way I moved cities. So I went to Osnabrück. And so it became
This is your
hard.
band. You are the founder.
I was the founder.
Okay.
Together now with the musicians in Zudlon, Stadtlon, they all live around that area.
Okay.
So we did some city festivals around Zudlon, Stadtlon.
Yeah.
During that time, and we could rehearse during weekends. I just take my boy and we go and rehearse, and then we started getting festival concerts, and so that's how we began.
So this time, you said you moved to Osnabrück.
I didn't move immediately. So at that time, I'm still. Let me go back.
Yeah.
We are still together with my son's dad. I have started doing music. The sun has started shining. I'm getting orgasms, and life has begun.
Yeah.
And now I've started off. I'm just now giving you how we started off with the music until now.
Okay.
Yeah. So where Harambe was born until now, where we are with Wamboy. So I'm still in Boken, around your area. I'm still around Stadtlon.
Okay.
So I was doing the gospel choir. I was doing the band. And I was raising this boy, and then the stress that I had, the depression that I had, started going down. I started sleeping in the night. I didn't have this hallucinations anymore. Because now I'm doing music. I've gotten up now. So that's how I knew God has healed me. So.
Wow.
Yeah, Wenda had told us last time how she would hallucinate that her son she will sleep just for 8 minutes, and she will see like her son is floating away, and then she will have to wake up and catch the child, try to catch the child, and then she will fall down, so she could not sleep. So when she says now that she was sleeping, it's a major healing.
Okay. It was a major healing, and it never came back. Actually, after that whole, the 3-month period, I just usually call that the darkest 3 months of my life. So they never repeated themselves after I woke up from that, because I had spoken to myself. I had healed out of it. I had cried. I had started doing music, and I found my healing in the music. Yeah.
And how was the relationship going with your son's dad? Because it sounds like you are doing the healing alone.
Yes.
I was doing the healing alone. I was doing the healing alone, because the relationship wasn't going on well, because eventually I think the thing that I told you that was in between us that we never spoke about, I came in, he was there living alone, and he had nothing to do with the child. He didn't know what to do with the child. And now I am here. I don't know what to do with the child. We weren't speaking about it. So it even became worse, because he could shout. such a thing. So I wouldn't even go deeper into it, but it became worse, nights of not sleeping. Then it didn't just work.
Did you feel like a burden? Did you feel like you were burdening him?
Yeah,
with
yeah.
yourself
That's
and
in
your
fact,
child?
it was a mixed up feeling of, am I a burden? Did I, So it didn't work at all, and I wasn't happy in the relationship.
So you've left everything.
Our son too, yeah. He wasn't happy. You would actually see that he's not happy, that we are not happy. So one day I woke up and left.
You woke up and left?
You just left?
I left. You know our common friend.
Yes.
She helped me leave.
How long after you came was that?
That was after 1.5 years.
You lived in this for 1.5 years?
I lived in this for 1.5 years. It wasn't working at all. And, when there's a drift in between, there's something that you're not talking about. You guys don't have connection. Now you're here, now there's a child. You both don't know what's happening. You think the child is the problem, while the child is not the problem.
You are sleeping in different bedrooms.
You're
That's
sleeping
what you
in
told
different
us
bedrooms, so
time,
nothing is happening.
The orgasms were only coming from the
From
sun.
the sun. So I said, well, so it's as good as being alone. So it never worked. So
you left.
I left. My friend just came and helped me out. Like, he was away, packed stuff, and I left.
Why are you afraid? Because at this point, when you're in the diaspora, it's not like leaving when you are at home. You can leave and go to your parents.
Yeah.
Now, Wendo is in the diaspora with a young child. You did not have a job, did you?
Yeah, that's
I
what I
didn't have
wanted to
a
ask.
job.
Yeah. Until that point.
What happened during the 1.5 years, I was doing lots of things, okay? So I have my child. My child is now 11 months, 1 year.
Yeah.
That friend of mine still just showed me stuff. Remember, I'm with the dad. He's not even bothered of thinking, how do I advance my language? You get such things. So it's a friend who is, that's why I was feeling the help that I needed. And that's what really contributed to, the help that I needed. I'm not getting it. I'm getting it elsewhere. So she helped me, find this language course. So within the 1.5 year, I had joined the language school, actually at the Red Cross in Borken.
Yeah.
I did and completed the integration course. Integration course means you redo A1, A2, and then you do B1, and then you do Einbürgerungstest. So that's what I did for a whole year. A whole year I was just doing this. So I was done with it, and then I also did my driving, which because within
that 1 year.
Not within that 1 year. Yeah. So when I was done, when I was out now, I did
after you left.
After I left.
Yeah, but that is, don't rush us through this, because I think this is so important. So you leave this husband. You definitely don't have a house of your own or an apartment of your own. You have a small child. You don't have a job. You're not earning any money.
Yes.
So how do you do life?
I'm not earning money. Now I've moved and I'm at the mercy of the city now, which also was catering for my language. When we approached the Red Cross, they have programs that you can do for free as a mother who has a child.
Okay.
So like the German language up to B1, I did that for free. Then I had, but you must be there. So what they did, they took my child, put in a kindergarten. They were paying for it. But during that time when I put my child in the morning, so me and my bike, picture that life. You wake up, now you're in an apartment which is being paid for. You're on your bike, rushing to go take your child. Your child is now seated on your bike. I have a chair, So go there. You're rushing to go catch the train, because where I was living was not exactly where the language
school was. Yeah.
So I could rush to go by bike to the kindergarten, to rush again to go to catch that train on time.
Yeah.
So I had to leave the bike there, take the train to go to class. So sometimes you go to the kindergarten, your child doesn't want to
To be left there.
So you can't go and say,
And then
You can't place your child and go.
yeah.
go because the train is coming the next 10, 15 minutes.
It's a new environment for him.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So like the whole time until he gets used to. So that's what I went through. Like, so there was the process where the child has to get used to the kindergarten. Then there's the process of now you making sure that child is there for you to go, because once they pay for you, you must be there every day.
Yeah.
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 So
And on time.
and on time.
Yeah.
So-
Just for somebody who maybe is new and has this situation, where did you go in order for the government to pay for this money? Because they didn't find you at your friend's place. You had
No.
to go somewhere to an office. You talked about Red Cross.
Yeah,
Is
the
it-
Red Cross.
Yeah, but that is not the government.
That's
So
not the government. So there's a place called the Job Center.
okay.
There's an office called the Job Center. If you go there are people who are jobless, and there's a paragraph for each and every category.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Depending on your visa, so you are under something. So they put you under that, and you can get this amount of money, you can get this amount of support.
Okay.
There are two, if I'm not wrong, there are two offices you can go to. There's the job center and there's the Jobs Agentur für Arbeit.
Oh, okay. But Agentur für Arbeit, you go when you had a job.
When you
Or
had
is
a
it-
job and you lose it.
Okay. Yeah.
If you lose it, then they will
Then
support
they'll
you
send
also.
you. But you didn't have a job, so you went to job center,
Yes.
and they were giving you money for your rent, and
Yes,
also
for-
the money you needed to live on because you needed to eat.
to
and-
live on. So
Yeah.
they will give you they will give you money to live on. They will pay the kindergarten directly. They will pay the Red Cross directly. It's just they cater for it. So you don't even see any money. Like you just go because it's already catered for.
Yeah. And this is something I am so thankful for here in Germany.
For the German
Yes.
state,
For
yes.
the German state does not let, especially mothers with children, they are really catered for.
Yeah.
I have never heard of a mother with a child who says they suffered,
No.
because I've met, unless you don't go to ask for the help, but mostly you're really catered for, and that is something I really find fascinating.
Yeah.
Because I imagine if I was in Kenya and I left my husband, okay, you go to your parents and you have the support system that
The
we
support
have
system is
at
family.
home. It's
Yeah.
family, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the money. But it's not all countries that have this social status where you're really helped and you can go on with life, or maybe start.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is at the point where you are.
Yeah, that's the point where I was. So I had to do this program for a whole year because A1 level takes 3 months, and then the A2 3 months again, and then there's a B1 level which we did intensively, took 3 months, and then you go again and do the 3 months integration course and do the exam.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just takes you to a whole year of doing that. So I was done with it, and then so when I was done, the period in which I need to do the driving, 6 months. When you come with your driving license from Kenya or another country, you could go to the driving, the office. What we call this office?
Driving
again?
school?
The driving. There's a
TÜV?
driving school, the TÜV.
Yeah.
So you go there, they give you a period, they can, so you do it not so expensively.
I don't know that. Can you please explain that?
When you come from Kenya,
Yeah.
you're
Can
driving.
just one moment. Let me just tell our listeners, doing a driving license in Germany is so expensive.
Very expensive.
It's at least 3,000 euros.
That's
This-
300,000
Yes.
Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's more expensive to do a driving license
to
than
buy a car.
to buy a car.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So-
you might even do it and you fail. So you might pay more money because,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did. There's the 6-month period. That's what I was saying. Grace period, which you're given to go and take your driving license. And then they have a look, or they allow you to do a few classes. Or maybe you just do the theory class without having to go to class.
Really?
Yes. So you do the theory class, and then you just go to classes for the driving.
Driving classes
Yeah.
Those ones are must because we drive in Kenya. We drive
Yeah.
on the
on the
But
left.
I, see,
on the
but I
left.
think that depends on the community you're in. Because here in Schermbeck,
Uh-huh.
I did everything. They told me mine was invalid. I could not use
within the
it.
6 months.
Not within I did it a bit later.
Yeah, later on that's what I'm saying now. If you went within the first
Okay.
6 months
So
of arriving here.
what you're saying is,
Yeah.
if somebody arrives in Germany,
Yeah.
they should do their driving license within the first 6
6
months,
months,
and
yeah.
it will be cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
Wait, how much cheaper are we talking?
Oh.
Because
We're
this
talking
is really
about
important.
the amount you would have paid for the theory classes. You won't go and sit in the class the entire time doing the theory.
Yeah.
They can exempt you, for example, from the theory, all of them, and you have to do the practical.
But the practical is also, of course, you have to do some
Classes,
of it,
definitely, you
yeah,
must.
but not as many as if you're doing a
Yes,
whole one.
Yeah,
That's something I didn't know.
yeah.
Wow.
That's
Because
it.
I did mine much later.
I did it much
after
later
the
too.
6 months, yeah.
Yes.
So that's one tip. If you're in Germany, if you're new in Germany and you're coming to stay, do your driving license within the first 6 months. It will be cheaper for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Otherwise,
yeah.
it will be
Cheaper.
Expensive.
Expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you're in diaspora, this is what happens. I don't have a license because I always decide, shall I do my license or shall I go home with the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fly
So
to
obviously I
Kenya.
choose to fly home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
3,000.
Because
That's about
3,000
3,000
actually,
euro.
Yeah.
You can go home and come back.
You go
Yeah.
home and come
you
back.
know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's the problem.
Yeah, so after the 1 year of doing the language, so I was in a position to, to do the driving, but I didn't have the money. So again, the job center will not pay for you to do your driving. So you have to squeeze. You decide. I actually paid my driving in installments.
Wow.
I went physically to the driving school, spoke to the owner, told them I don't have the money, but I know that I can pay in bits until I'm done. And he said, yeah, do it, come.
wow.
Yeah.
Also, really important and valuable information. You can pay things in installments.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And speaking for yourself.
yes,
Speaking for
definitely.
yourself.
Yes.
The language.
Yeah.
The language.
Speaking for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you have the language, you can walk
You can
into any
explain
office
things.
and explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I did, and then within 1.5 years, I had my driving also in the language. So I was able to move. Actually, while still the city also has a lot of programs for the jobless. I went and while at the language doing the Red Cross program, they were able to translate my documents.
Okay.
Because I came, remember I studied IT in Kenya,
Yeah.
so I came with the degree here. So what they did while doing the integration course, they asked, what have you done? What have you done? And for all of us who had certificates, they just said, okay, there's a place you can actually have a look. They can have a look if you can work in Germany. And that's what happened.
Wow.
So during that period, that's when my documents were also sent to SAB.
Yeah. What is SAB?
SAB, Zentrale.
I have no idea. I studied here. I have no
What
idea what
does it
people
do?
do.
What
Yeah.
does it do?
It converts Kenyan documents. If you have a degree, diploma, it doesn't matter what you have. If you have a degree, if you're qualified in any field, you bring that certificate, and then they just convert it.
They
check
look
in
for the
system.
equivalent of
Equivalent,
German
yeah.
system. Okay.
You check,
Yeah.
this is just exactly the same as doing a degree in Germany.
Okay.
That word is in German. I have to find out. Maybe we can put it in the
Yeah. In
Yes.
the description
later on in
box,
the
yeah.
description box.
Yeah.
And you can convert this, and then you're in a position to get employed now. That's when I was in a position to start looking for jobs in Germany. Yeah.
And what kind of jobs were you looking for? Were available for you?
I was looking for, because I did IT, I was looking for programming jobs since I was teaching in Kenya. And you
Yeah.
really need perfect German to be able to teach
Yeah.
in a school.
Yeah.
in Germany. I
That's
didn't
what
see
I
myself
say.
teaching.
You need perfect
Yeah.
German to
I
be a
didn't see
teacher.
myself teaching, and B1 level is not enough for someone to go and teach in a school. Because at least if you do until C2,
I did up to C1.
up to C1, yeah.
But then I also studied German at the university, so
yeah.
it's probably
So it's
now C2. I don't know.
yeah. So it's C2. So
Speaker, native speaker level.
native speaker
Yeah,
level.
although I
C2.
can't speak like a native
No,
speaker,
but that is what it's called.
it's the level.
It's
Yeah,
the level. Yeah, because that's
exactly.
also what I heard. It's native speaker level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking for jobs. You had asked which jobs I was looking for.
Yeah.
I was just looking for jobs in software engineering.
Okay.
Because that's what I was teaching in Kenya, and I didn't see myself teaching since I needed that level of German and I need a job. So I said, why don't I just do software engineering myself? Like
The
why
job
don't
you
I?
were teaching,
Yeah, the one
now
that I
you
was
do it
teaching.
yourself.
Yeah. So what I did, I had internet. One thing you always have in Germany is internet, Wi-Fi. I said, what am I doing with internet? There's so many opportunities, and that's where I began. Even while paying in, remember I was doing the installment, which I still had a balance to clear. I even looked for jobs to do from home. And that's how I started even working online way back then. So I was working online, making some little cash to go and clear that balance I had at the driving school. And at the same time, I was just building my own portfolio.
Yeah.
So what I was doing, I was creating small projects, websites for friends. I created my own portfolio, what I can do just from home. Like go to the internet, type in GitHub, go create a portfolio there, so that when you apply for jobs, because whenever you apply for a job as a software developer, they always ask, what have you done? Which project have you worked on? So like I had to create it myself by creating websites for people, my own portfolio, and so I had something to show when I was looking for jobs.
Was it easy to get a job?
It wasn't easy because looked at past experience and they saw that I was teaching. So they always said, you come from it. I just got such responses until I did another program again in Osnabrück. Let me just fast forward it. After moving to Osnabrück, I did another program that allows women again who have IT backgrounds to jumpstart, in Germany.
It's like a course you did now again to add more qualification.
To add more qualification.
Okay.
And on top of that, also, I had won the scholarship. In fact, during that time when I was looking for opportunities online and doing some jobs and getting some little money, I saw this opportunity. You can apply to do an online Udacity. Bertelsmann is a German company, sponsored full-time. Apply to do this. Then I applied. I also won that scholarship, which it added value to my qualification. So here I am. My certificates have been translated, recognized in Germany. I have the scholarship. I have done the Exil program that jumpstarts women into the German program. So I think that was enough to really give them hope, make them
see that you're
see
able
that
to,
I'm
to
able
do
to
this.
yeah.
And in all this time, where is your husband? Is he seeing that you're doing all these things? Is he being supportive? Is he saying you're not supposed to do this? Or doesn't he even know that you're doing all these things?
He is out of the picture completely because...
Completely?
Yeah, completely.
Not even with the son?
Totally. Actually, when we separated, it was bad. Like, it was bad because we had to go to court, and there's a behind-the-scenes court story that we're not talking about. That he wanted to take my son, and so it was a fight also for me to get the custody. Yeah, it's also another long story. So when he eventually didn't get it, he just didn't want anything to do with us. So he's not been present in his life.
But
Ever
the
since.
battle,
Ever
the
since.
court battle, we don't want to go into details of what happened, but how were you able to navigate around that? Here is a quick one to tell you about our sponsors, TDX Media. I've been working with TDX Media for about 5 years now, and this has saved my life, literally saved my life. TDX Media has a way of helping you to optimize your office work. So I am a very chaotic person. My office was looking like you can imagine it. And then TDX Media came and they really helped me to optimize the processes, especially the processes of how I work, what should happen when, they came and advised me. They came and sorted out most of my files and all that, because I am not that. And then my website, it's beautiful because it is being maintained, it is being serviced by TDX Media. And then the CEO of the company, Christian Tiedemann, who does all that, comes to you, advises you, he talks to you, he listens to your needs, and then crafts everything according to how you need it, but adding his professionalism in everything that he does, such that at the end of it all, and he will not use anything he doesn't think is okay for the person visiting your website. So if your photos are not good enough, then he'll not put them in. And that is the level of professionalism that I need when I'm working with someone, so that they just don't do everything I tell them to do. They tell me, okay, it's your website, but it has my name on it. So he will not do anything that is not professional enough. And the other thing is event management. Guys, these guys are so organized. TDX Media is so organized. They have taken control and over. They organize our African festival, which happens every year. So I have nothing to do with it. The first year I organized it myself. I almost went crazy. And nowadays I just get calls, or when we're talking, it's a yes, no, no, and I have nothing to do with it. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. I love working with these people. I love the way they, present themselves in a way that is, I will talk about professionalism the whole time, because that is what they are. They are professionals. And you see that in everything they do. When they're doing consultations with you, they are very specific in everything that they're doing. You can only be satisfied when you're working with TDX Media. And I'm so glad that have trusted us now to sponsor our podcast. And I've been working with them all this time, satisfied with their work. I'll continue working with them. So please visit their website, www.tidix.de. That's www.tidix.de. Visit them, because you'll be doing yourself a favor. Thank you so much. Did you go to get lawyers? Were you able to pay them?
Actually, the city was so supportive. At that time, I didn't have the language, so I wouldn't even know what they were talking about in the court.
Yeah.
So they gave me someone who would translate. This is Doimecha.
Paid for.
Okay. Paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
I got those favors from above, from God. They paid for the lawyer, and the only amount I had to pay was 900 euro, which again, he just said, if you can get 50 euro, put on my account every month. If you can't make it, put it next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
This is so amazing.
Yes.
And in the custody battle, because I hear a lot that mostly we Black people have problems getting custody of our children.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
What do you think spoke for you? What made the court decide to give you the custody of your child?
I think it's just the history of if they looked in the books and saw that you've been here clean in a clean way, and also compare with the dad and whatever he's done, maybe in the past, and whatever is in the books. I don't know what they saw, and it's It's just the lawyer who told me, you're very lucky.
So it was his history
Yes.
that determined that, and not how he had been taking care of this child.
Yeah. They didn't even, they just asked what he does, and, so it's just the history.
So if he didn't have this history.
He didn't have this history.
If he didn't have this history, it might be that although he did not care for this child all this time,
Yes.
that he would have had a chance of having
he would have had
custody.
a chance. Yeah. He would have had a chance.
That is so. Maybe some listeners in Kenya are listening, and from where I come from, mothers never have to fight for their children.
No.
Yeah.
No.
When you have a child, as a woman, that child is yours.
It's
Yes.
yours.
You
Yeah,
actually have to
yeah.
fight for. From the stories I know, this
Yeah.
is obviously not everyone, but the stories I know is sometimes you have to fight for the father to be present.
Yes.
But in
Yeah.
Germany, now you're telling us you're really fighting for a child you
For a
give
child.
birth to.
You've taken care
child-
of all
and
this time.
In fact, his intention was that I give the child and I should go back to Kenya.
Oh.
And leave
Yeah.
your
Oh.
child.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's
It
deep.
was not
If
in the best interest of that
story
child.
Is another book.
Mm.
You would have to invite me on another deeper, session for me to if
Talk
we
about
have
that.
to talk about
We'd
that.
love that.
We will.
If we
We'd
have
love
to talk
that.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's deeper again. It's deep.
That's a story I want to
Yeah.
hear.
And
Oh,
it might
wow.
be really helpful because these
For many
stories
people.
are
For many
so-
people.
Yeah.
So it's so often. I've had so many people talk about these things. So that's why it would be important to have that topic.
yeah.
So you're coming back again, Wendo?
I'm
Yeah.
coming back again.
We will give this story the justice of a whole episode.
Yes, yes. Because it is really, really important. It happens a lot. How many women have had their children have been taken away,
My
and
God.
when you hear their story, there was no reason for that child to be taken away from them.
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Even me,
Yeah.
I've had that.
And
so
this is
often.
yeah. So my God, this is,
Yeah,
there's
it
such deep things with you, Wendo, that somebody you don't know where to go now, because you have to now try to forget that.
Yeah, try to forget it.
Try to
And
forget
that's
that, and
actually
then-
how I usually navigate about it. Whenever there's any deeper, darker thing, you focus on the better part.
Yeah.
You focus on
But
the
it's also
positive.
important to talk about this.
Yes.
And that is why I think we have this space where
Yes.
we can have such conversations, such deep conversations.
Yeah.
That people normally don't talk about.
Yes.
And I think this sharing, and that is what we said in our first episode, why are we doing this podcast, is because we want to share and we want to help other people. Because we've been doing this not for very long now, and we are having people tell us their stories
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we are sharing ours.
Yeah.
And this is so powerful, and I find it so nice of you to open up in this way, and opening up helps somebody else.
Helps
who's
somebody
going
else, and
through such a
I
thing.
wouldn't want someone else to go through that, actually.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
when we talk about these things, it's when we give the tips of what to do when this happens. Because I did not have that story. Wamboy did not have that story.
No.
That is your
That's
story.
the story you brought.
That's the story you brought. And this is so important that we're having different people to tell their stories. Because diaspora story is not one story. It's
Yeah.
just
It's stories.
so many different stories. We all go through
Yeah.
different things. And this is so amazing that you are now here where you are. Tell us about your first job.
My first job, it is now in Osnabrück. We are now in Osnabrück, where I had taken a course at the Exil. It's an NGO that takes care of immigrants in Osnabrück and also refugees. So they advertised this program. They said, okay, the CEO is a friend of mine who also is a singer. So one day he tells me, oh, I've seen the post. I had posted something regarding the scholarship, the Udacity scholarship, and had completed it. Now I was mentoring other students. After completing it, I mentored other students actually in the academy.
Okay.
So I had posted something, one video, and she said, I've seen. I've seen the post. Would you like to join the program? We are doing about women who have this IT background so that you get a job after this. And I was like, I'm joining it. So that's how I joined it. And we did lots of things on that program. Just refresher stuff. We created websites. We created GitHub portfolios. We created WordPress websites that we could show. So through that program, I eventually got an internship at the University of Osnabrück, thanks to my lecturer, the one who taught us at Exil, Yara. She had this opportunity at the university, and then I joined there, did that internship. While doing the internship, whenever I applied for a job, I got an interview. Yeah, I was just saying, okay, currently I'm at the University of Osnabrück doing an internship in the industrial design department. And they said, what? We want to hear from you. You are at the university. And they mentioned it all the time. So I noticed, okay, being at
This is something big, yeah.
something big.
Yeah.
So, I did those interviews, and then I got my first job as a software developer at the Netcom AG, you know. Since that was around beginning of 2020. And
Corona time.
Yeah, I did that for 2 months, going to office. After
And
2
then
months,
came Corona.
home office. Home office.
So now you're a software developer.
I'm a software developer
for this company.
I'm no longer there.
Okay.
That's my first job in Germany. That's my first job in Germany.
Okay.
So we did. It was an interesting job because I was in the front end, doing both. Actually, I was developing hybrid mobile and web apps. You know, you develop an app that can work on the mobile. It can work on the computer as well. Then while still there, I was actually also elevated to a team lead, because when we started that project, it was just me and some other back-end guy who knew a lot of technologies. So while we were still doing it together, I'm doing the front end, he's doing the back end. He was like, I feel like you can help me do the back end because we've already gone so far with the front end, and it's like you will be waiting for me. Come to the back end and try. I'll show you some things.
So you got the technical partner on top of your IT software knowledge.
Yeah. He took me. He told me, okay, the back end, you know, the database and all that in Java, Spring Boot. So I started doing something with him. Java, Spring Boot, MySQL. All those are back end technologies.
What was that? Java.
Those are programming languages.
Nothing,
Yeah,
huh?
tomatoes, cabbage. That's what I'm hearing now. Okay, it's okay. Let's just go on.
It is a computer programming language that, you know, software developers use to develop, for example, a database. If you have a database of classes and you want to store things, you need a language to model it. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what I did. I did something with him. Then I found, before I knew it, I was a full stack now, because I had to connect my mobile app with the backend. And so I knew. Then the guy was also a Scrum Master. That means he was overseeing the entire project.
Okay.
Scrum, the entire process, how it begins and how it comes to an end, the project management process, agile development. So he one day just got bored with the job and got a bigger job in Hamburg. You know, said, I don't feel happy anymore doing this project.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too much divided. I'm doing Scrum, I'm doing backend. Now I have to manage 3 teams. He said, I'm sorry, but I have to look for another job. But you have to be ready to take over.
Everything.
You know what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. Imagine, he left me im Stich.
Why you sound like you are ready for all of it? The way you're talking now, you had been working with him, so
No, that was too big already. It was too big. Imagine starting as a front end. You've just started your first job in Germany. You have level B1. You know, to be a project manager, do Scrum, you must really have good German.
But I don't think they would have given you the job if they didn't think you were ready
They
for
gave
it.
me, and I really appreciate it because
Yeah.
it really elevated
You didn't
me.
feel ready, but they
I
knew
didn't
you were
feel
ready for it.
but
Yeah.
I knew it. Yeah, I was ready for it. Yeah. So he left with something which I'm really thankful for. He left, and then so I became the team lead on my first job.
Wow.
Whom am I leading? Anybody who came after. Yeah, because I'm the one who knows. I began with the front end, and then I moved to the back end, and then we were writing, tickets together. Tickets are the tasks that we do on a daily basis.
Okay. Yeah.
And we are using agile development. So I got to understand the whole Scrum process, the whole agile process. So I could go write tickets we call them sprints, do the sprint planning together with the team. There was a student from the University of Osnabrück. He did, while under me, he completed his bachelor's, and he also went for a master's to Darmstadt University.
Wow.
So there was a student, and then there's another lady now who came in, who I left there when I was leaving, who came in fresh from the university, also as a software developer.
Yeah.
Then there was a lecturer who also came in while I was there on the project, a lecturer of Java programming. So he came in and joined the team, and then there was someone who was designing the screens. We call them web developers. They draw the screens. They know where the button should be, and then they just give you as the developer to deliver the work. So when I was leaving, it was a team of 5 people that I was leading.
Why did you leave?
It also became like I was doing Scrum. Okay, I love working in a structured way. Okay, I love structure. So it's like I was so much divided. I was doing Scrum. I was doing team leader work. I was in the back end. I was in the front end, and then I was also, when they needed someone in another team,
They were calling you.
they were calling me to go do that task.
So it was the same reason the other guy left.
It
Almost
was
the
the
same
reason. It was
yeah.
just the same reason.
Yeah.
Like I was too much divided, and I didn't have a structure anymore. When I came, I was like, I want to work on this task and complete it today. I will not complete it simply because on that day we have a
Other
sprint.
things, yeah.
We have to plan the sprint, and
Yeah.
I'm the one to organize that sprint planning. We have to, it was a lot to.
Became too much.
Was the money good? We
The
talk about money. We talk about
the
money in this
was also
episode.
not also
Not
worth,
abuse.
worth the whole.
It was
yeah.
more work, but not
Yeah, more
enough
work,
money to
but,
compensate what you were
Exactly.
doing.
Of course, what would even make me more happy is not the money. It's just being satisfied at
Yeah,
work.
Yeah.
that's very important.
Doing something and leaving work and saying, wow, I delivered
Yeah.
today.
You didn't have that feeling there.
And not being there and being under stress. And you're like,
Yeah.
I didn't deliver because I was, I had to go into a call, I had to go into a planning, I had to, I had to pick my child from school because now, in between, I had to stop, go pick my child, then I have to drop my child, and then I go back. And
So
then
where
sit
were you
down.
dropping
Then
your child? Where was the child?
Music,
Were you
football.
working full time?
I wasn't working full time
Because it's
but
not
you see,
possible here in
it was,
Germany.
what do we call it?
Almost, yeah.
What do we call it? Glide side.
Yeah, yeah.
It's work that you can distribute
Along the
Yeah.
day, yeah.
So you can
Throughout the
stop,
course of the day, yeah.
go pick up your son, drop somewhere, and that was why I loved being there. Like you can.
You are
distrib-
flexible.
I was very flexible.
Yeah.
But at one point, like I had planned to do this task, I haven't done it anymore because I began. Now there was a meeting because I had to jump into a meeting. Now let me stop and go pick up my son. When you come back, you're like,
Where
did
was I?
Yeah, yeah.
where was I?
Yeah.
Clarity. I didn't have clarity. Anymore. That's why I left. But that company is
A good one.
a good one. They
Yeah.
really elevated me.
It's what I wanted to say. It taught you so much by
Yeah.
forcing you.
Yeah.
But because
yeah.
this is how I've experienced the diaspora, you don't do many things by choice.
You're
the
forced into
circumstances
this.
force
Yes.
you,
Yeah.
and then you look back, and you're grateful.
Yeah.
You're grateful that you had to learn these things because they've made you now this woman you are today.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, I was there for like 2 years. Then I left to my current company, Save Desk, which I'm also leaving.
Wow.
Yeah. And Save Desk, I've been also a software developer, the only woman among the men, and doing programming, accounting, bookkeeping, like for your work. Okay?
You do everything.
Do everything. So make sure that what they do, there's an app, there's a mobile app. You take it, you buy stuff, you scan. Buy stuff, you scan. Then you don't have to do, at the end of the year, you don't have to do all the bookkeeping work. Wondering when they get the receipts. Oh my God.
It's everything is in there.
Everything is in there. You just scan,
okay.
scan.
Yeah.
You, within a minute, you have your bookkeeping.
Wow.
So what was happening, what happens, the logic that happens, like, do you have to pay tax or not? We have to program all that. Which class of tax are you? Okay. Is it 19%, 7%, 5%?
Yeah.
We program it. So we pre-program everything. So that when you scan your receipt, we already know, this client Unternehmer, this small business doesn't have to pay
Taxes.
tax. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it already calculates for you in null tax. You don't have to pay at all.
Yeah.
Positions you where you should be. So that's where I've been working. But for you to be successful and to be, in career-wise, in accounting, bookkeeping in Germany. There's a day I was talking to someone in a conference, and they said, "You're programming the hardest thing in the whole of Europe."
Wow.
How is that possible? And I was like, okay.
You didn't even know, right?
I didn't know. I didn't know because, apart from just the bookkeeping part, that thing is complicated, man. The bookkeeping part, the categories of businesses, small. There's small that pay tax. There's small that don't have to pay tax at all.
Now this is the German bureaucracy.
Yeah.
That has
So their
differences.
tax submissions once a year.
Yeah.
And then there's double bookkeeping.
Yeah.
Bookkeeping, double entry, credit, debit. All those things, you need to have them on the fingertips to be successful in this, to grow in this. Then there's the tax issues. Then there's the dative. There's dative. Dative.
That's what we work with. Yeah, with the. Yeah.
They do documents. They do salaries. They do
everything.
They do everything together. But the reason because we're using their API to integrate into ours, so that because every small business, they are using dative accounts. So you must know, as a programmer, you must know which kind of account is this business supposed to use for this particular balance sheet.
Oh my God.
You need to know. So
maybe some of our listeners are digging into this. They're like, oh my God, I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, and some are sitting there like us.
Like people like us, me when I hear dative, because me, I'm
at least that one I've heard. At least that one. Yeah, you understand the language, dative. Not the program.
No.
Yeah, I know.
My God, this is so impressive.
And then there's the tax advisors that use our API. Okay, so you as a business, you have a tax advisor. You don't do it yourself.
No.
You go to a tax person who's coming to Save Desk now to use our API.
Okay. Yeah.
And so as a software developer at Save Desk, I can say you really must be deep into this accounting stuff. Everything is in German. Everything is in German.
Yeah.
Now
this is really an important aspect. You're not just an expert in the one thing, you also need to be an expert in the language.
That's what I just made me make the decision to move. Like, I wasn't having fun anymore because accounting, and then so like you get a task, and then first of all you're thinking, everything is in German. Then you start to translate before you go into the logic.
So you need more time.
You need double the time.
Yeah, you need double the time than anybody else, because first you have to work through the language before you even start doing the job.
So
in all these,
it's we never really appreciate that as diasporans. In fact, I'm amazed that German people are born into their language. They go to school with the same
their
language.
language, yeah.
Their grandmother speaks the same language. Their neighbor speaks the same language. Everything, the science is in their mother tongue.
Yes.
We diasporans, we never have that.
No.
Everything we do, we always
It's
have to start with a new language
new
first.
language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And that started with English when we were home. It was
Yeah.
new.
Cool. It
Yeah.
was new, yeah.
And now we come to this country and then it's a new one again.
Another new
We don't
language.
have this one language where we just get better in the material, but the language is there. The fundamental of the language is given.
Yeah.
You just
So
need
you're
to get
starting
better
all
with the
over again.
material.
Yeah.
So I just want to show you how amazing we actually all are, that we manage to be good with the material and the language,
And the
at the
language
same time.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
This is
Yeah.
this is high level of intelligence.
Yes.
Really?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to acknowledge that
Yes.
all the time, because it's not only the material, it's the language.
It's the language.
It's the
Yeah.
And German is a very, very complicated language.
Very
Yes.
complicated.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Yeah.
is. And to find somebody doing something in the depth that you're doing, and then in this language, is just amazing.
Yeah.
But all I say it always, the language is so important, because you wouldn't be doing what you're doing now if you didn't have the language.
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
if it's not yet perfect,
It doesn't have to be
you,
perfect.
you don't have to think that you have to be perfect at the language, but that you know you can work with the language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're working in a team and you're speaking, that's your daily language, and you have to communicate
Yes.
whatever you're doing
Yeah.
and make sure that the team is also with you. Take the team with you, you know.
Yeah.
It's something that everybody else needs, the language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in all this, where is the music? Because it sounds like you're always working when she's and you're all over. I see you all over doing a concert here, doing a
Dancing.
concert.
Did you even see her with the garden? Did you see she was? I saw her the
you
other
know,
day. She was planting a garden.
This lady, it's just amazing.
So,
Where do you get all this
what
energy
makes
from?
me, actually, this home office thing, it is a very nice thing. It makes you get so organized. You wake up in the morning, you can wake up early. At 5, you can do sport. Okay? You can read a book. You can go out. Now it's summer. 5, it's already very
Getting
bright.
the orgasms again from the sun. Summer.
Not to forget the orgasms.
We are not
to
forgetting
forget
that.
them.
So like, currently it's bright by 5, right? So you wake up, you can go for a run, you can work in the garden. I water the plants either in the morning or evening. Then I prepare the boys to go to kindergarten, school.
Now it's boys, so there's a plural in that.
Yeah.
But I think that will be the topic of the day. We'll be talking about the other thing.
Yes, the other thing.
Because I think it's somehow connected.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, all these problems, and then meeting somebody else, and
Yes.
being in another relationship and having another boy.
Yeah.
I think that's a conversation for
Another day.
another day. Yeah.
Yes,
But
so-
we want the music. We want the music. You guys have told us that you sing together. So what do you sing? What kind of music do you do together?
We do our own things. We do our own songs. I compose my own songs. Wendo composes her own songs. Amazing. Go look for them.
Yeah.
But
YouTube.
What YouTube exactly?
Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
She likes breaking our legs like Nisisi tuko. Nisisi tuko too. Yeah, showing us really nice dance moves. Yeah.
So that's Afro. We do Afrofusion as a band. And actually, we would. Do we show you some? Do you want to listen to some harmonies?
Yes.
Yeah, me and our boys
yes.
singing some harmonies, maybe.
we are good at harmony.
We
I
are
must
really
say.
good at it.
I've learned to praise myself where I'm good at something.
Yes,
This is not
it's important.
something bad. It's important.
Yes.
And I think we are good at harmonies.
We are good.
Shall we show them?
We should.
What should we sing?
Daya.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Daya.
I
Daya.
love that song. I love it when you sing that song.
Oh, and we love it too.
Yeah, we love it.
So I do the main key and
Yes,
you back
please
me.
do, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Nayewaki suka seko tingamaye yava ina wabali nangai pantalo mokaba mama tovalana Tazukisa vila velango ya bato. Likwela yanga ina sheri. Sukalilitama.
Yebaki. Suka seko tingamae. Yangai na mobali nangai. Pantalomo kaba mama. Tuvalala. Tosukisa bilo belango ya bato. Likwela yanga ina sheri. Sukalilitama.
Oh, 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 ngaida ya po. Nayebi kombo ya mbandate. Oh, ya ngaida ya po. Balango ya bombandate. Aye.
This is my life, guys. I'm getting private concerts.
Nayebi kombo ya mbandate. Oh, ya ngaida ya po. Balango ya bombandate. Aye.
Wow, that's so amazing. You guys.
Thank you.
You
There's the other song that she loves, by the way.
You
There's the other song.
harmonize so well.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, she
This
just
is her song. We can do it too.
for 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Yeah, please.
A special one for you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, let me remember. How did it go?
Mira.
Wera wamako makwa. Now head to me. Yawo kenereroka. Gai murathimi. Wera vimagero ryokweda. Gai murathimi. Daddy morege. Oh, she's harmonizing.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh,
I love that song. I
Yeah.
love that. And when you sang it here, Africa Fest, when we had the Africa, that was so, so lovely. You guys
Thank
are
you.
so amazing. And you won an award
Yeah, I won an
last
award.
year. The best
The one that my
African.
dad used to see.
Yeah, the Nobel Prize.
The
The best African musician in Germany.
Yes, in 2022.
Congratulations once again.
Yeah,
I remember
thank you
how
so
we
much.
danced during
Yes,
that event.
You
That
guys
was
came
really
to support me.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much.
wow.
That was amazing.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
that was amazing.
the music is there. So it's always there. It's something that we do when we wake up. We sing when we wake up. We sing when we are there arranging clothes. We sing, we rehearse all the time. Like last weekend, we rehearsed
Yeah.
together.
For hours, we
For
do it
hours
for
until
hours. We
3,
don't
yeah.
notice. And do you know? This is actually such an amazing thing. You cannot be thinking and singing at the same time.
No,
It doesn't work.
doesn't work.
So if you try it, sing and think about something. It doesn't work.
No.
So if you're depressed, if things are stressing you, you start singing, you stop thinking.
Yeah, totally.
It's the
You stop.
closest for me. It's the closest way to
Yeah.
God because you cut the thinking. You
Yeah.
come to the moment now. Yeah.
Exactly. So
That's so
music
amazing.
is a daily. It's like the air that we breathe.
Yes.
So that's why we are not talking about it. Like, you asked, where is the music?
It's always there.
It's
So
always there.
okay, okay.
Oh,
Now I
this is
get
nice.
you.
Yeah,
Now
I
I,
love
get
that.
yeah. Now I get
it's
you.
always there. Like,
It's not a thing like now the job and the music.
no.
So the music is
it's
always
a
there.
lifestyle.
Oh wow.
When you feel like dancing, you just dance.
I love
if,
that.
if you're doing gardening, you have your music in the background, you stop and dance a bit. Yeah? And that's why you see it. You stop. Now you're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I love the way she's. You stop and dance a bit. You just do it. You know.
You just do it.
You just dance,
Like,
yeah.
if you're in the bathroom and your music is playing, you sing there.
You know, it's amazing you should say because people always ask me, especially in Germany, when did you start singing? So
I've always been singing.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I can't tell you a point.
Yeah.
And it's true, the music.
It's always
there.
there.
That's really
Somehow.
nice.
It's just
Oh
always
God,
there.
I
can't
love.
even tell how. Because I can't actually remember, like you say, when did you start singing? At least I can just say, okay, when I joined the live.
Yeah, but singing you have done since you were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ever since.
That's so amazing.
My sister is even worse. Oh my God, that girl.
She sings.
Hey, she used to wake up in the morning. She'd say, I'll wash the utensils. Then she starts singing. She'll sing and she forgets washing those utensils.
Hello,
She will
Wendo
sing
sister. I think you're
entirely.
my sister.
Hi,
Yes.
Miriam.
That's
Hello.
so amazing.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
amazing.
Singing is
I love
something that
yeah.
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is.
And I love listening to you guys. It's just so amazing.
Thank
I feel
you.
so blessed when I hear you singing. It touches. These voices are
Thank you.
so strong voices, but also tender in a way that touches the deepest of your soul.
Thank
And that
you
is what
so
I love
much.
about you too.
Wow.
It's
Thank
just
you.
sometimes it brings also tears to my eyes when I listen to you, because it's touching me. It's not only the ears, it's how that feeling just goes down, and I feel so blessed to have you too.
Thank
in
you
my life.
too. We feel blessed to have you too.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
I feel the tears. Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Aw.
Wendo, because this has been so amazing once
Yeah,
again
thank you.
having you here. And I know we've not talked about everything, like always. There's still a lot.
We can't
There's still a lot
exhaust.
to talk about.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
can't
there's still a
exhaust.
lot.
Next week I'm starting a new job,
Yeah.
a new position after leaving Save Desk and feeling like I'm not happy because accounting. And I have to do something that makes fun, like if it's not fun, I'm not boarding.
Yeah.
Your joy.
You
Your
joy.
joy.
You have
And
to
your
have that.
joy.
You have to
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
joy.
yeah.
And you also have a blog.
I have a blog.
Yes.
How are we forgetting
You're not
to
forgetting.
talk about? I do. I love writing. Because I love mentoring, and I feel like when I was teaching in Nairobi and mentoring students, I felt, fulfilled. Like it was fulfilling to do it and see a student, do something, do a project to the end.
Yeah.
So how do I do it now? By writing technical articles on techmentored.de.
Tech mentored.
Tech
Like mentoring.
mentored, yeah.
Yeah. That's TECHMENTORED.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tech mentored.
Mentored. Yeah.
.de.
DE.
Okay,
Yeah.
so www.techmentored.de.
Yeah, you go there,
Yeah.
you find a lot of tips on how to start as a software developer, for example, junior software developer, how to make money online, how to,
Wow,
and
that's
lovely
really-
stories like the one, success
That was
stories like the one I
so-
wrote about
yes.
how Mühlenbrook and how you can apply.
She wrote
JavaScript
about my
into it.
restaurant.
Yeah, I saw
And then
that.
she wrote it including all these tech words and talk. And I was like, oh my
What is
God.
this? Yeah.
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 But in a very entertaining way. Very
Thank
entertaining
you.
way. So I love your style of writing.
Thank
And
you
if
so
you
much.
are somebody who wants into tech and all that, I think that is the blog you should be reading.
Yeah.
totally.
If you're learning programming, JavaScript, Java, HTML, CSS, I talk about such things. If you want to jump into software development as a junior developer, as a software developer, back-end technologies, I talk about all of them on the blog. Try to explain the concepts using real-life stories. Yeah.
So it's relatable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
My
Amazing.
God,
Amazing, Wendo.
Yeah.
So once again, we're saying thank you so much
Yeah.
for gracing this far from
Thank you
home
too.
conversation with your joy, with your knowledge, because it's deep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this was not only about getting orgasms from the sun.
No.
It was really the deep work. It's also there, because that will always be there.
Yeah.
You're this bubbly person. You're this having these conversations where you can also explain what you do to people like us who have no idea, but leave feeling like
You
we ha-
understood a
yeah,
bit.
I understood a bit of what you were talking about,
Mm.
and that is really amazing. And
Yeah.
I hope many of you who want to go into this will go to Joy Wendo's blog,
Yes.
and read it, and also follow her on her socials, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook,
LinkedIn, yeah.
She's everywhere. Joy Wendo, you find her everywhere. And also follow us. Guys, show us some love. We are bringing you these nice
Yes.
conversations.
Yes. And we are lovable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we are
You really
trying
are.
to
Yeah.
really be the best we can be.
Yeah.
And the thing you can do is show us some love with subscribing, liking, commenting. Tell us what you think about our bubbly Joy Wendo here. What did you think about that conversation? Because it was a very personal and also going into what you do. I think that might help somebody who is struggling
Yes,
or who is wanting
it
to
will
go to the
help.
next level. Yeah.
Yes.
And we
Next
really,
time, next time we want to dance. So
Yeah,
maybe
we will
there's
definitely.
another session for dancing.
that one.
To Nisisi Tuko.
We will come back to that.
Yes.
We
that
will
one.
come back to that.
Yeah.
And we want to wish you all the best with your new job.
Yes.
We
Thank you
want
so
to wish you
much.
more growth.
Thank
May
you.
the path be laid clear, just as it has been.
Thank
As
you.
you've told us, we've seen your path has been laid clear even when you are not sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we pray that this next
This
journey
continues.
that it continues like that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I wish you all the best as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I love seeing you grow like this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you're saying bye-bye for today. And I'll just sit here and listen to these lovely ladies as they sing. And then after this, we'll go to eat, of course. How we're doing it on this podcast. They'll get a dish from me in a few
What?
minutes. I get the music.
I'm
I get the
salivating.
music.
Yeah.
They get the food.
Amazing.
Yeah, bye-bye for now. See
Bye-bye
you
for now.
next time on Far From Home Diaspora Conversations
Bye.
podcast. We love you guys.
Love you.
Now hang it to me, yagukenereruka. Ngai murathimi, wirathimagĩra ũrĩa ũkwenda. Ngai murathimi, ndathimo rĩngĩ.
Wow. Bye-bye. So here we go, the part where we do the food. Today you're getting something Chinese. I told you I'm taking everybody to a journey around the world. So this is a Chinese soup with whole rice noodles. So
This is so amazing.
that's how I treat my
Oh
treat
my
my
God,
guests.
thank you
That's
so
how
much.
I treat my guests. You guys sing and I cook and then you get to enjoy it.
Mouth watering this.
So, God bless this food.
Amen.
We appreciate the talent.
It's not easy to cook delicious food all the time.
I don't do it all the time.
I cook when I'm in the mood, you know.
But you know when also really cooks good food. Yeah. When those chapatis get good. You have to do chapatis.
I will.
When the you know those small chapatis, those small nice ones. Yeah. That's those ones. Yeah. So you guys, you're also getting something from this. You're getting the recipe on Chef Carol's show on YouTube. You can follow me on everywhere. Chef Carol's show.
Amazing.
And you also get the recipe. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye. We enjoy our content.